guys, so we have the Logitech K480 Bluetooth keyboard. There are lots of keyboards out there that are Bluetooth, a lot of portable keyboards. What I love about this one, you can connect up to 3 devices at the same time, and you can switch between each one. There's a little switch on this thing that you can toggle. So you can pretty much connect up to 3 devices, and you can toggle between which screen you want to type on. Now that's nice. Now this keyboard, it's designed for the portable device, so your tablets, smartphones, and there's even a little picture here. You see it. There's a little docking little bay there where you can just put your iPhone in, or your Android phone, or your phablet, or your tablet, and it's a little workstation. And what I love about this particular model as well, the K480, is that it works on all of the popular OS platforms. So you have like Windows tablets. So in this case, PC Windows 10 or later, Windows 8, Windows 7, of course Mac OS X or later, Chrome OS, Apple iPad, iPhone, iOS 5 or later, and Android tablet or smartphone. Of course, the version of Android would be 3.2. Would be the minimum version of that. So Android 3.2 or later would be good as well. So it's compatible across the board when it comes to the OS compatibility, and the fact that it has a little switch that you can switch between the 3 connected devices makes this a very, very valuable tool for somebody who's on the go and who has to who wants to multitask with a lot of portable devices. So yeah, it looks really nice. Nice green black color. Anyway, so let me just take out the box and let's look at the contents. And you can never go wrong with Logitech. Very, very trusted brand, and these guys make accessories very well. That's what they're known for. So look at that. That's a lovely keyboard. Nice, lovely keyboard. And it actually has a good weight to it. It's not heavy, but it's not light either. So let me take it out the bag here. Here's the keyboard. Lovely chiclet style keys. Nice and thick. And here's the little bay here for your portable device. Right here's a little switch that you can toggle between 1, 2, and 3 devices. Right here. And you know what? What I love about this as well, the instructions are right here. There's 5 steps, and they have nice big diagrams, and it shows you how to pair your devices depending on which operating system you're using. And there's even a little diagram showing you where, and there's even a URL on the keyboard showing you where you can download the software from. And there's some switches as well. So let's look at this keyboard in a bit more detail. But one more thing before we do it, the back here, here's the batteries. So it actually comes with 2 AAA batteries pre-installed, and they look like a set of Duracells. So you get some nice alkaline batteries that come pre-installed in this thing. So obviously there's a little piece of paper here which blocks the contact, so the batteries are not being drained while in storage. But of course, when you want to use it, you just pull this out like this, connect the battery back in. Now the batteries are pretty much in an active state. They're connected up to the circuit, and there's a light there which means it's turned on. I can turn it back off. So here's the power switch here. So we just turn it off and put back on the cover that flew off the back there. Now I'll be honest with you, I mean, I have a couple of keyboards, but the reason I got this is, I mean, this is a real nice keyboard. I mean, these are big fat keys. It actually looks like a real, has a good real solid feel, like a real keyboard. And it's actually an interesting size. It's not huge, but it's not small either, right? I mean, this is the size of my hand, and as you can see, it barely covers half of this, right? So it's a really full solid keyboard, and this bay is really nice. So that's that. But one more thing. Nope, that's it. That's all there is. I love that. So here's the front view of the keyboard. So again, nice thick buttons. And over here, as I said, this is the switch that you use to, when you're connected to 3 devices, you can just toggle between which device you're connected to type. So what I like about this as well, because it works on various platforms, depending on the platform that you're using, you have those keys available on this keyboard. So for example, if you are using a MacBook or an Apple device, you know, there's certain keys that you'll find on a MacBook. Here's my MacBook Air, for example, and here you'd see you have your command key, which is, you know, a typical Apple key, and on the keyboard here we do have that same right here. We have the CMD for command, and we have the same you know, Apple function key right there. So all of those functions will be on this keyboard as well for the Apple, if you're connected to an Apple device like an iPad or something like that. So in summary, you have all of the shortcut keys that you would normally find on a PC, on a Mac, on a smartphone, and they're all, you know, located right here. So you have your Start, Alt, Command, you have your Alt, OPT, function key, Control, Alt, Delete. All the function keys, all the shortcut keys that you would normally find, depending on your OS, is on this Logitech as well. So this is definitely a multi-purpose keyboard. So what I really like about this keyboard is that this cradle here is designed to hold pretty much any type of typical portable device. So here's a typical 5-inch smartphone. Alright, you can put it in like that, portrait mode. You can put it in, and I just throw it in there and it just stays in there correct nicely. I put it in landscape mode. I can put it on the side here. I can put it over here, and you know, there's no clips or no magnets. It just fits in place, and this falls back, and it's at roughly a 45-degree angle, which is relatively comfortable for, you know, doing lots of work, right? Here's a Samsung Tab 8.4 tablet. Again, it fits nicely in there in portrait mode, and you can put it in landscape mode as well, and you can just put it anywhere in there. Again, no clips. It just slides right, sits right in there very easily. And of course, our good friend the iPad by Apple is not to be outdone. That fits in there comfortably as well, and it goes in, of course, portrait mode, and you can put it in landscape mode as well. Now, one thing to note, this particular iPad, like this is like one of the middle generation iPads, it actually is pretty heavy, and I put it in here, and if you notice, if I push it, it takes a lot for this thing to fall back. It actually falls back in place when I push it back. So although this keyboard is, you know, it has a bit of weight to it, and the reason for that is, you know, you can put your devices in there and you don't have to worry about them falling backwards and falling over, right? It's very good. Let me show you from the side here. Here's a good side angle view here. So you get roughly actually it's more than a 45-degree, it's a 60-degree angle, which is a relatively comfortable view and angle for your devices. But you can, you know, try to tip it over and it falls back in place, right? And this is a pretty heavy iPad. So that's a really good design spec for this Logitech keyboard. Now, I even stress tested this thing as far as size of tablets is concerned. So here's a 12-inch Surface Pro tablet. Now, of course, it fits perfectly in here in portrait mode. So this is excellent. Like portrait mode, a Surface Pro 3 or 4 tablet would fit in this perfectly like this. So this is great if you're using like word processing. This is very comfortable. And from the side angle here, you can just turn it. You have that nice 60-degree angle. Again, even with a pretty heavy Surface Pro tablet in there, 12-inch in portrait mode, you know, it doesn't really tip over. It falls back into place. And again, this is great if you like to type like in Word or use a word processor program, and you're typing a big document and you want the portrait mode. This is perfect. It fits in it nicely. With this tablet, it's too big, however, if you wanted to put it in landscape mode, it's too big to fit in the cradle, but it does fit a 12-inch tablet comfortably in portrait mode, and again, it doesn't fall over, it doesn't tip over. So this is really good. So when it comes to like comparing the size of the keys and the keyboard in general on the K480 by Logitech to a keyboard like say the 15-inch MacBook Pro, which you're looking at here, you know, from a width perspective, you know, left to right, the surface area of the keyboard is roughly the same, and the keys are, you know, although they are more rounded on the edges when the MacBook Pro has square keys, from a size perspective they're relatively the same size, so you're going to get that real keyboard experience when you're using both hands when you're typing on the K480, just like if you were on the MacBook Pro. So, you know, that's a really good feature. So before I can pair this keyboard with any device, you have to turn it on, obviously. So right here on the top here, there's a little switch. So I just turn it on. So right now the keyboard is turned on. Now before we can pair with an Android device, Windows, iOS, whatever, there's actually a little function switch, these two function switches here. This one on the left, if you're going to be pairing this keyboard with an Android or Windows or Chrome OS device, you would actually press and hold down this button for a couple seconds until that blue light flashes. Once you see that, then you can start pairing this with those devices. However, if you have an iOS or a Mac OS system, you would just press this button over here that says I. And when you press it, and then that blue light's going to flash saying that it's ready to pair with those devices. Alright, so now we have turned on the keyboard and we know what buttons to use when we want to sync up this keyboard with devices. So let's go ahead and sync it to our 3 different devices. So what we have over to my right there, that's my Surface Pro 3 tablet, that's my Windows tablet. And then here I have a standard iPad. Now the iPad you can put in portrait mode. It can also fit in landscape mode, right? And that's your standard iPad that can do that. So of course the iPad mini is smaller, so it will fit as well. The iPad Pro won't fit in landscape mode, but it would fit in portrait mode, right? Because it's wide enough. So that's my iPad. So we have a Windows device and we have an iOS device. For my Android device, I just want to use, I have a LG G4 smartphone, standard 5-inch smartphone. So as you can see here, you can fit the a standard 5-inch smartphone with your, Apple iPad, or any other tablet of similar size for that matter in this, which is really good. And that's what it's designed for, right? To handle multiple devices. And this bay is long enough that you can put a smartphone and a tablet in there as well. And for both the phones and the tablets, you can use them in both portrait mode, and you can have them in landscape mode. It doesn't matter. So here we have our 3 devices all turned on. Our keyboard is turned on. So what we're going to do now is pair each one to the keyboard one at a time. Now that switch I was talking about is here. This is the switch that toggles between the 3 devices and the 3 positions, 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm going to do for this demo is I'm going to use position number 1 for my iPad, position number 2 for my LG smartphone, and position number 3 for my Windows tablet. So let's go ahead and start syncing up. So in this demo, what I'm going to do is show you how you can pair, show you how easy it is to pair the K480 keyboard with 2 devices. I mean, they can connect up to 3, but the process is pretty much identical across the board. So it doesn't matter if it's a Windows device or if it's an Android device or if it's an iOS device. It's pretty much the same thing. All you do is enable Bluetooth on your device, and then you go onto your keyboard. And if you are trying to pair to an Android, Windows, or Chrome OS, you press the PC button to start pairing, and that pairing process is straightforward. And then if it's an iOS device or a Mac OS, you press the I button and you pair as well. And once you've paired, you can start working. Now remember, when you're pairing, whichever mode you have, three different modes, 1, 2, and 3. I call them channels. So whatever channel you've paired in, remember that channel, because when you want to toggle between devices, you just make sure you turn that switch to the appropriate channel. And I showed you that just now, right? And so when you want to use, depending on which device you want to use, you would then just turn the switch to that appropriate channel, and you can start using that device. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. So let me just jump in and show you how you can connect to my my Apple iPad, for example, as well as my G4 smartphone. Let's set up so let's put my switch here in position 1, and let's turn on the Bluetooth on my iPad. Now I've turned on the Bluetooth, so what I'm going to do now is press the iOS Mac OS button over here so that this keyboard can start searching for devices that are iOS and Mac. The iPad is actually searching for devices right now. Let's press the iOS Mac OS button on the keyboard. The blue light is flashing, so it's searching for a device. Okay, there it is. The keyboard 480 is on the iPad, so let's click that. And it says it's connected. Now, I actually did sync this up before, so what would happen if you're connecting these two for the very first time, what will happen is that once it's connected, you will be prompted to enter a code in the tablet. Now, it will actually show you the code, and all you have to do is type that code by using the keyboard itself, and that will authenticate the keyboard to work with the tablet. And then after that, you can just sync up like how I did just now, and you won't be prompted again to enter in any codes, right? So we have synced up our iPad with the K480 by Logitech in mode 1. So that's connected. So you can just close that off, and then to test it and see if it works, I do have a simple note-taking program in here somewhere. Where is my note-taking program? Here, let's go into notes. And let me just add a new note here. I want to type. Oh, there you go. So I've successfully connected with the iPad, as you can see here. Alright, just typing some gibberish, but as you can see, it works. And the keys are very responsive. Okay, so let's leave that there for now. Let's now sync up with my smartphone here. Actually, just leave the notes open. As you can see, we're still connected, right? And let me just unlock my phone here. And now let me put this into position 2. And let's enable Bluetooth on my phone. So let's now connect to my Android device, my LG G4. So let me go into Bluetooth. Let me just go into the settings on my phone here. Excuse me 1 second while I find my settings. Here's settings. Bluetooth. Let me just turn that on. And let's go into the Bluetooth. And let's search. So while that's searching, I'm going to press the PC button, which will have this keyboard search for Android devices. And the keyboard 480 comes up. Let's click on that. And in this case now, it's asking me to type a code. So it's asking me to type a code 942203. So press return or enter. So I'm going to enter that code from my keyboard itself. So let's type in 942203. And then enter. And we are paired. Now, when you're typing, of course, on the keyboard, you don't see anything on the screen because it's just, a security key to make sure that, hey, yeah, the keyboard is authenticated to pair with the phone, and that's it. So we're paired. So let me now open, I have a note-taking app on here as well. Very simple app. Here it is. And you open a new note here. Yeah. And give me a add note. So let's see if it works. So let me just, there you go. So here I'm on my G4 and I'm typing away. And what I can do here, let me just open my iPad here for a second. Now here's my iPad. Let me just clear. So I'm here in my G4. So if I go to position 1 here, I can then toggle onto my iPad. As you can see over here, I'm on my iPad. And I'm typing away in caps, take all caps. And then I can toggle into my G4 phone. Over here, I can start typing away. And I can toggle back to my iPhone, my iPad. Continue typing. Toggle back to my Android device over here. And keep typing, as you can see. It's really cool. It's a simple feature, but it comes in very handy if you have to multitask or you're working on multiple devices. It saves a lot of time having to resync your device. So ladies and gentlemen, so I've connected these two, and if you wanted to, I can then connect, like put this into mode 3, and I can connect this up as well, and it works just as fine. So what I love about this keyboard is that you can connect, you know, and work with up to three devices, because you have a switch that you can switch between the 3 of them, and it works across all the platforms. So as I said, iOS, Android, and Windows, for example. So in the interest of time, I just wanted to show you how easy it is just to connect up to 2. 3, just do the same thing, enable Bluetooth on your Windows device, and you connect, and then you can use that as well using the same keyboard. And I really love this device because it's pretty portable, and you know the size of the keyboard is pretty much equivalent to that of any normal laptop or PC. And yeah, and you know there's no wires or anything. You just you know, put your devices in the dock, and you're good to go. So it's a very no-nonsense, very simple keyboard, all the functions that you need, easy connectivity for your devices, and it's a Logitech device, so you know you're getting quality as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Logitech K480 keyboard, a low-cost keyboard, retails for around 50 bucks. And it works across all the major OS platforms, so your Mac OS, your iOS, Android, Windows, Chrome OS. And what I love about this is there's no cables, no messy wires. Yeah, so it comes with two, it runs off of 2 AAA batteries. And again, it has this nice little switch here which you can toggle between the 3 channels, and each channel would represent a device that you're paired to via Bluetooth. And pairing is very simple. There are 2 function keys on the side here, so depending on the OS, you would press that button and get the Bluetooth set up, and you can start working right away. And what I love about it too is that the actual keys, the keyboard look and feel, the ergonomics are equivalent to that of a regular keyboard on a regular laptop. So anybody with man hands like me, it's perfect for desktop experience. Now they did say that this is designed to be on a desktop at work or at home, but I actually take this around with me into coffee shops as well, because it can just fit in my bag, and I can just sit down, plop my tablet in, I have my my phone hooked up if I want to answer some text messages while working, and I'm good to go. I have an instant PC on my desk or in the coffee shop. So if you want to get yourself one of these, I do have a link at the bottom of this page where you can check these out on Amazon, and yeah, go for it. Anyway guys, you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye bye. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you to do 2 things before you leave. 1, there's a button right up here on the screen to my right here. Click on that, and that will take you to our website, www.redtechbot.com. When you get on that site, there will be a button there where you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And when you do sign up for our newsletter by entering in your email address, you will automatically be entered into all of our tech giveaways. And by tech giveaways, these are some typical examples of what we will be giving away, and these are some examples. There's other stuff as well. And the good news is, you just have to enter your email address once, and it will automatically be entered into the pool every time we do a draw. And we will use that email address, of course, to contact the winner, to tell them, hey, you've won something, and it's really cool. And of course, the newsletter will have updates on tech reviews, what's coming up new, what's coming up next, new stuff in the industry, and even information on future giveaways, right? So it's really, really nice newsletter that we're going to be sending out. And one other thing is, on this side on the screen here, up here, on my left, you click on that and you will subscribe to the channel. Now, by subscribing, of course, you will be at the forefront of any new things that are happening, any new videos that are coming out. And what I will also be doing is I'll be doing videos where I'll be talking about what we're going to be doing as a next giveaway, right? So you want to be subscribed, tuned in to that as well. So it's going to be a fun year and fun years to come as well. So yeah, that being said, you guys have a great day.